All right. So, here we are. I wanted to show you Substance Painter from Maya to the Substance Painter platform, so to speak, or software. So let's start off with something. I'll just make a new project, and I'll just kind of keep it fairly brief here, under 10-15 minutes. So there we are. I did the old interactive creation. You can access interactive creation by going down here and selecting that, just as a reminder. Once we have that bad boy in place, we'll go ahead and position it wherever we want. Remember that freeze transformations are needed here before we export the object. And that means wherever you place the object, it kind of forms a new origin, and therefore will populate in the center of other programs or software, such as Unity or Substance Painter. So what I'll do is I will, first and foremost, I'll just give it a new material, why not? So assign new material, and we'll go Arnold. AI standard surface is one that I enjoy here, so we'll pick that. Then we'll go to that little material there, and we'll just, I don't know, I'll just give it some color for the heck of it, and I'll name it ball. Press enter, and that's the name of the material right there. After which I'll also name the object here, so ball 1, something like that. Then I'm going to go into the channels box, and that was all done in the attribute editor, just FYI. In the channels box, I'll go ahead, and I'm not going to do anything with this. I think I like the subdivisions as they are, so we'll just keep that at 20. And I want you to watch these here in order to kind of freeze those. I know this is more or less review, but freeze the transformations, and now it's, of course, not frozen, it just has a new origin, right? That's how it works. We'll save our scene as well. Just save it as ball demo. Once that's all in place, you have the name of your model. You've also sort of named your material here, and you've frozen the transformations. Go ahead and delete history, so delete all by type and history. Clears all that out. You also want to ensure that you have the UV editor in place here, just so you can go ahead and make some adjustments to the UV. And this usually isn't too bad for a sphere. I'll probably want those checkers to be a little bit more in proportion with each other, so I'm just going to select that sphere, and we're going to show our, well, it looks like our toolkit is up, it's just hiding on us, so there we are. I'm going to go ahead into the create section and press spherical, which is just going to make those checkers a little bit more in proportion to each other as I wanted. But in addition, perhaps I could do a little bit more as well, right? There we go. Actually, I kind of liked how it was. I mean, that was fine, but I mean up here. There we go. And you want to fill that U1 and V1, remember? This is sort of off-centered for whatever reason. Not entirely sure why. Let's take a peek at that. So it looks like it just kind of made a weird cut here. And this is why I generally don't use automatic unwrappings. So we'll just select those cuts and we'll sew them. And then I'll go ahead and select that edge. I'll cut And I'll do the same for the bottom as well. Select those edges, and so select this here and cut. And now we can press the, or rather go into object mode and do an unfold. And you'll get something like this, which allows for the checkers. And I, for one, think it's a better way to, it's one cut, it's not several cuts. I just think it's a better way to represent the sphere map for a UV. Remember, we want to stay in the U1 V1 quadrant. So go to UV shell, select that. Let's minimize that a little bit so we can get that in position and inside the shell of our desires. It's okay if it's crooked, especially if it's a sphere, it doesn't really matter. Although it is nice to have them all centered and straight, especially when working with more geometric things. And there we are. Let's say that I'm okay with that UV map. We'll go ahead and press save. We'll delete history again because see, we have a lot. Edit, delete all by type, and history, that's gone. We'll go into file. We'll save again just because we delete history, and then we'll go to export. After selecting it, we'll go to export selection. Pick a desired location. In this case, I would like a sphere to be in desktop. So what did I just do? Basically what I did is I went in here. After selecting the object, I went to export selection. And there are actually some things I ignored here, which actually could be adjusted. So a lot of these settings are fairly basic. You can feel free to pause the video if you need to catch up here. We definitely don't want to include things like history. We don't really need channels. Expressions is fine with constraints, not a big deal. Just kind of set your settings here to these. Animation should be off because there is no animation. We didn't bake an animation, so uncheck that. As for other items such as lights, cameras, and such, uncheck all of that as well. Again, feel free to pause. You want to also uncheck audio because we don't have that. And this just minimizes the file size and provides optimization for when we actually use it in a game. Because why have data when you don't need it, right? Exactly. Embed media, keep that checked on. Give it a lovely name, which we already gave it. Export selection, we will replace it. Thank you very much. And you want to just make sure it is an FBX export, right? FBX. If you don't have this plugin, reach out to me and I can help you fix that. But it should have came with your install. FBX. And why do we use that? Because it is the most optimized. And it also holds scene data, not just object data, which is important for games, right? So now we have the object, or the FBX rather. We can then go to Substance Painter. I prefer to have this docked elsewhere. I'm not a huge fan of it being there, so I like it right here. These are your materials that you can use. You can use Browse 3D Assets in Marketplace for different materials and such. But when it comes to getting your stuff in here into the Adobe Substance Painter screen, so you can actually work on it, you want to pick PBR Metallic Roughness Alpha Blend. Then you want to select your FBX. Then just make this 2048. It's okay if you do 1024. The rubric says it, but 2048 is good. Keep this at DirectX. If you're interested, I can kind of tell you the difference at some point, but DirectX is desirable. Uncheck and copy what I have here. You don't want this, you don't want that. You don't want that nor that. Feel free to pause. As far as mesh normal maps, we don't have any, so we'll just go ahead and press import. And there we are. We have our ball. At this point, I would just stop the video and advise you to watch the next video, Intro to Substance Painter. However, this is how you put a material on your substance. Layers and texture sets and all that, how to make more, how to make custom things, all that's in the next video. If you need a little bit more information, please tell me. I can make another video. Alright, enjoy the day and keep it real, and definitely do some 3D things because, you know, it's just fun. See you later.